Radhe Radhe Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinama Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Sorry for being late. There's a few reasons I could blame it on, but it doesn't really matter. Mostly it is me. And also today is the first cold day in Vrindavan. It was foggy in the morning, and it's been overcast most of the day, and it is foggy now. And they had to put new mats and new carpets on the floor and clean everything nicely. So between that and other reasons, which I will not tell you, I was not able to be on time, so forgive me for that. We have told previously what Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati Maharaj told about being on time, that a Vaishnava, which I'm only hoping to become one day, but a real Vaishnava is always on time. Why? Because of their natural humility. If someone thinks themselves more important than others, then they might delay and make everyone wait. And even if they show up early, this will also create an inconvenience, Srila Maharaj said, because then everyone will have to stop what they're doing and start rushing to welcome you. So that also becomes an inconvenience, and it is not favorable. So, once again, I apologize for my lateness. Radhe Radhe Disha. Somehow, oh, that's right. Okay. So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation calling for the grace, the mercy, the blessings, the sidelong glances of our beloved Srila Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our beloved Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari, going all the way back to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself. And Krishna's Guru of Prem. Who's Krishna's Guru of Prem? Srimati Radhika. As Krishna states, and you can find it in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishyanata Sada Amanana Nritye Nachaya Udbhata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. She makes me dance various novel dances according to her tune. So you can find Mangalacharan on page 1 of this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, starting with Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. Radhe Radhe Manorama Devi Dasi Ki Jai. That's Sudevi's mother. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha. 1 second, this is important. You see how the Guru Parampara's pictures just above me? The top of the frame is just on their head like that. One time Srila Gurudev, he came out of his room and he saw a picture of himself where the frame itself was right, like on his head. And he said, "Ouch, my head is hurting, my head is hurting." And then the devotees realized that the frame was too close to Gurudev's head. It wasn't giving him any room. So we should understand that just like Krishna is in his murti and in his photo, so Gurudev is also within his photo. So before I start chanting their pranam mantras, I'm just going to make this slight adjustment. One moment. Okay. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ju Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Once again. Mandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanati Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunashcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tang Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Pada Jadataika Hriddi Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tang Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nittinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Preshthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Ittinamine Atimatya Charitraya Swashritanancha Paline Jivaduke Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ittinamine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Madhvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagyamurtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchiranandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gauravirbhava Bhume Swang Nirdishta Sajanapriya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatang Surato Pangor Mama Mandamate Ragati मत्सार्वस्वपदम्बोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्टालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भि वंशीवतत्ततस्थितः कर्षन्वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियैस्तुनः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधे राधे to all of you. And to, who's there, Manorama, Juliana, Kalyani Pillai, Puleshwari, and the rest of you. And also Kalyani is requesting that we please keep the devotees of the River Range Temple in Durban in our prayers. That temple, they were building it. It was a 4-story temple that collapsed and killed a few persons, devotees, and injured many as well. So somehow that happened, so keep them in your prayers. Okay, so now we're going to call for the mercy of Sri Gurudev. Since I started very late, I think we'll just sing together. Is that okay? Gurudev kripa bindu diya karo edase trinapeksha atihino. Page 32 by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणपेक्षायति हीनो सकल सहाने बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहहीनो कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणपेक्षायति हीनो सकले समान करिते शकति देहनाथ যথা যথ তবে তো গাইব हरि नाम सुखे अपराध हवे अतो गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणपेक्षायति हीनो कबे हेनो कृपा लोभियाए जानो कृतार्थ होइबे नाथो शक्ति बुद्धिहीन आमी अति दीन करो मोरे आत्मसाथो गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ए दासे तृणपेक्षायति हीनो যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমার করুণা সারো করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরো গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে Trinapekshayati ino. Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva, Gurudeva Jai. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanub Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. He Baro Kuruna Koro, Vaishnava Goshai. Calling for the mercy of the Vaishnavas, page 44 by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. He Baro Karuna Koro, Vaishnava Goshai, Patita Pavana Toma Bine Ke Honai, Kaharo Nikate Gele Papa Dure Jai, Emona Doyala Prabhu Ke Bako Thapai, Gangar Parasha Hoile Paschate Pavan, Darshane Pavitra Koro, Eko Maro Hari Sthane Aparadhe Kare Hari Naam, Toma Sthane Aparadhe Nahi Koe Ram, Tomaro Hridoye Sada Govinda Vishram, Govinda Kohe Namama Vaishnava Param. Prati janme kori asha, charane rodhuli, narotame koro doya, apanaro boli. Ebaro karuna koro, Vaishnava Goshai, Patita Pavana Toma Bine Ke Hona. Jaya Vaishnava Goshai, Jaya Vaishnava Goshai, Vaishnava Goshai, Jaya Vaishnava Goshai, Jaya Vaishnava Goshai, Vaishnava Goshai. Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro, Prabhu Kripa Koro, More Doya Koro, Prabhu Kripa Koro, Doya Koro, kripa koro, more doya koro. All Vaishnava Thakurs ki jai. Now we will call for Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani. Page 61 by Sri Lochan Das Thakur. 61. And if you do not have the songbook or the Gaudiya Kirtan app, are you the one posting here? Today, Om Joshi is posting the bhajans. So you can just follow where he's posting here within the comment section on the thread. And you don't even need to search for the bhajan, they're just there. Thank you, Prabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nitai Guno Maniyama Nitai Guna Mani Aniya Premero Vanya Bhashailo Yamani Premer Vanya Loyani Tai Kailo Gora Deshe Rubilo Bhakata Gana Dino Hino Bhase Dino Hino Patita Pamaro Nahi Bache Brahmara Durlabha Prema Sabakare Jache Abadha Karuna Sindhu Tatiya Muhano Ghare Ghare Bule Premo Yamiyaro Mano Lochan Bole Moranitai Jebana Bhajilo Janiya Shuniya Se Atmaghati Hoilo Nitai Guna Maniyama Nitai Guna Mani Aniya Premero Banya Bhashailo Yamoni Nitai He 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 Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai. Yesterday morning, Sudevi and I were discussing how one time we were in, I think it was Italy, and Srila Gurudev came up to Sudevi. He said, "Do you know this bhajan? Gora Pahu Na Bhajayamainu." And do you know how to sing it? She said, "No." So he was singing it and teaching her the tune. And he said, "You should learn it and then you'll sing it later on in the day." And so he was teaching her the tune perfectly. And then Pujapad Madha Maharaj got really excited and decided to continue trying to teach her the tune, except his tuning is not as pakka as Gurudev's tuning. So she lost the tune, but we've heard it many times since then. So, Gora Pahu Nabhajiya Mainu by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Page 83 or page Om Joshi. Okay. And this bhajan really speaks to all of us. I think there was a lot of underlying theme of this mood, that neglecting to worship Gaura, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I have knowingly lost that treasure and instead I have taken poison. And so seeing many of the devotees yesterday, how they were weeping, I'm specifically remembering one, I'm a pretender, I'm not a disciple. I keep going back to that same nonsense, I'm so weak, they keep sending me help, but I keep going back to this nonsense. And many of us can recognize this same principle within our own lives, that although we know that Gurudev is the manifestation of Krishna, who is bringing the mercy of Radha and Krishna into our lives, although we accept all of the teachings, still we have so much weakness, and Maya becomes so attractive to us way too often that our attention is diverted, and then we feel like I haven't made any progress. So it's a very powerful bhajan to pray in the words of Srila Narottam Das Thakur, and we can pray to him for his mercy, that maybe one day that Maya's influence will not be so powerful. We can also pray to her. She's a devotee of Krishna. Please help me. One Vaishnava, disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, his name is Sadananda Swami, from Germany. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada told him his Harikatha in front of all of his disciples. He said, Sadananda, you and I, we have been together for all eternity. So he was a very brilliant professor of Sanskrit and other, like you could say, Indian philosophy in Germany. And he came to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada through the medium of the preaching of Bhaktisaranga Goswami Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Ban Maharaj, those first ones who went overseas. And he was telling his one disciple, you know, Maya is a devotee of Krishna. Have you offered her any Harikatha today? Or are you only accepting the Mayak influence? What Harikatha have you told to Maya today? Maybe if you tell her, oh Maya Devi, I heard some Harikatha, let me share this. She'll be very happy with you and help you toward Krishna instead of binding us in this material world. I just thought it was a very beautiful way to see, to view this kind of situation, because she is a devotee of Krishna, she's doing her service, but yet if you share Harikatha with her, she might be very happy. Devaki Priya Radhe Radhe Punya Prabhu, Panibhusham Prabhu, and who else is there? Lalita Saki and Champak, Radhe 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 Sham. Gora Pahu Na Bhajiya Mainu by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Gora Pahu Na Bhajiya Mainu, Gora Pahu Na Bhajiya Mainu, Prema Ratana Dhana Helayo Harainu, Gora Pahu Na Bhajiya Mainu, Adhane Jatana Kori Dhanateya Ginu, Apana Karama Doshe Apani Rubinu, Gora Pahu Na Bhajiya Mainu, Sato Sanga Chari Koinu, Asate Vilas, Te Karone Lagilo Je Karma Bandho Pas, Gora Pahu Na Bhajiya Mainu, Vishaya Vishama Visha Sattata Khainu, गौर कीर्तन रसे मगन ना होइनु गोरा पहुना भजिया मैनु क्यानो बाया छाए प्राण की सुख पाइया नरोत्तमो दास केनो नागेलो मरिया गोरा पहुना भजिया मैनु ओ गोरा पहुना भजिया मैनु प्रेम रतन धन हेलायो हारैनु गोरा पहुना भजिया मैनु जय सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि जय सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि गौर हे गौर हे गौर हे गौर हे गौर हे प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय. Now we will call for the mercy of Radha and Krishna. I think it's going to be in Hindi. Since we don't have much time, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, followed by Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari O Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Girivaradhari Jai Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna যমুনতীরবনচারী জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী যমুনতীরবন জয় যমুনতীরবনচারী জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় যমুনতীর ও জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Gurudev. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Srila Gurudev Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai Radha Gopinath Ju Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namine Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Giring Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Gurung Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, including all of you who are present today, here physically and virtually, I offer my Dandavat Pranam. So yesterday, we received the opportunity, and I call it an opportunity because it is actually a great blessing, to be able to remember the glories, the pastimes, the beauty, the teachings, the affection, and the reproach, the chastisement of our beloved Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, whose disappearance anniversary we observed yesterday, and also of Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, his senior godbrother, whose appearance anniversary we observed yesterday. My seva as MC enabled me to allow everyone to speak except for a few devotees, 3 of whom are sitting on the chairs right there. They look ready and prepared. Okay. And Om Joshi. And even myself, I only got like 2 minutes to wrap up at the very end. I didn't really get a chance to speak yesterday, but I feel that every single class that I give is remembering Gurudev, speaking about Gurudev, so I actually didn't feel a loss yesterday. I felt that he would have been happy that as many devotees receive an opportunity to speak about him. or to remember, because really that remembrance is so powerful. Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan Tiner Smaran. So to remember these three, Tiner Smaran Hoy, Sarva Vigya Vinasham. All kinds of ignorance, all kinds of anarthas, all kinds of unfavorable things are destroyed in one's life if they simply remember Guru Vaishnava and Bhagavan. And really, we don't know Bhagavan yet. We have heard of Bhagavan, but do we know Bhagavan? But Bhagavan's mercy comes to us first and foremost in the form of Shri Guru. Krishna Kripa Shri Murti, the form of the condensed mercy and compassion of Krishna. That is Shri Guru. And Vaishnavas, they are also not different from Guru if they are on that level. And the other Vaishnavas, they will always assist us to develop more and more attachment to Shri Guru. So to remember Shri Guru for us is very easy because we don't have to artificially contrive something, concoct anything. Do I know Bhagavan? I have heard about Bhagavan, but I have seen my Gurudev. I have heard from my Gurudev. I have heard his pastimes, but I have seen them and I have experienced him. And so to remember him is much more easy, especially in separation. Even on his appearance day, it is still remembrance and separation. And I remember seeing how our Gurudev, when it came to the day of the separation of his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, even well into his 80s and 90s, when he would start speaking about his Gurudev, his voice would choke up and he would simply weep. It was very difficult for him to speak about his Gurudev on his disappearance day, because this is the nature of seva. The more seva one does, the more attachment forms from one's heart. And the more attachment there is, the more one can never give up that personality. And really this is for us so essential and so important, this lesson, that Guru should be the life and soul of the disciple. And not just Guru, but the order of Guru. And this is told in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. This is something that we should meditate on every single day. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada didn't feel that it was enough to meditate on it only every single day. He said, at the beginning of every year, every day, every hour, every minute, every moment, if we are not remembering Guru and taking shelter of Guru, then very easily we can be misled. So we should remember Shri Guru at every moment. And if we are serving, the more we serve, the more we will remember him. And our Srila Gurudev also had a very special capacity to inject himself into almost everything that we do in our lives. Simple things, like things that he would say. The beauty in a tree is the way that the wind moves through the leaves. So every time you see a tree with wind blowing through it, you remember Gurudev. Or he would tell any devotee who could not control their anger, oh, as soon as you become angry, you should drink a glass of water. So they go to grab the water, but immediately they're remembering Gurudev. Understand? Just to remember Shri Guru, to remember a pure devotee, is so powerful. And with almost anything, you can remember, oh yes, at that time Gurudev did this, Gurudev did that. Oh, I remember that time when Gurudev was in the car and he said this, he did that. We can see it in everything. Even this microphone stand. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, I was only 2.5 at the time, so I don't remember, but I was there for the disappearance festival of his Gurudev in Los Angeles, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And he was speaking about the form of the pure devotee being transcendental. And the devotees were trying to understand, well, it looks material. He said if something is 100% utilized in the service of Krishna, it becomes fully spiritualized. So because every minute, every moment of their time and energy is utilized in the service of Krishna, they are spiritual. And he was tapping the microphone stand, saying, this is being used in the service of Krishna, therefore it has become spiritualized. So just to see a microphone stand, now you can remember Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. How beautiful is that? So Srila Gurudev had a way also of injecting himself into everything. Even just seeing a clock. He would say, actually this was, most people did not mention Srila Gurudev's departure Leela yesterday. But we were present for the last 3 months of Srila Gurudev's presence in this world. And it was quite interesting to see Srila Gurudev's 3 main requests. 1, I always want a picture of my Gurudev in front of me. 2, I always want a clock in front of me. He wanted to be aware of the time. 3, when is Ekadashi? He wanted to know when the holy days were. So these were the 3 things that Srila Gurudev kept repetitively requesting. He wanted his Gurudev, the time, and the holy days, Ekadashi. And he told one devotee that you should keep your clock on the altar so that every time you want to see the time, you will look toward Thakurji and you should think, what am I doing with my time? Am I using it in the service of Krishna or am I using it for anything else? And this, just a simple thing like that. Now every time you see a clock, you're going to be like, oh my God, now I have to think of Krishna. Oh, poor us. Anyhow, that's great. But Srila Gurudev placed his instructions into everyday ordinary objects. And our Guru Varga, Srila Prabhupada, placed his remembrance into everyday ordinary objects. Through that medium, you can remember these divine personalities. And by remembering these divine personalities, you remember their teachings, their instructions, they become more present in your life. And this in itself is already purifying. But remembering them, then you must remember them along with their practice and their teaching. And so this becomes even more impetus for us to become more serious. More serious because we all know our own weaknesses. And many of us know that we have weaknesses that we are not even aware of. What is it that made that thing come out of me? When I was 35 years old, I thought I was quite detached from my family. I was married, but I was traveling, I was preaching, I was doing my thing. And we went to where my father lived, in Oregon. And we were quite busy doing programs, morning programs, evening programs, and I made time for him also, but only in an hour or a half an hour a day. And he felt quite upset with that because it was only once a year, and he felt like there weren't many people he could speak to about Guru and Krishna, so he was feeling quite upset about it. And he said, if it's going to be like that, basically have a good life. He hung the phone up on me. I was 35, and I thought, I'm detached. It broke something in me, and I was like, where did that come from? How can that affect me so deeply? There's things deep inside that we're not even aware of that are also affecting us. And so we require a lot of help because it's not just from this life, it's from millions and millions of lifetimes. And that help comes by the mercy of Guru and Vaishnavas. And simply to remember them, to remember their name, to call out their names, to remember their form, to remember their qualities, their pastimes, their instructions, their teachings. This is so, so favorable. But to follow their instructions. This is what they want us to do. This is the most favorable. Radhe Radhe Savitri, you are here. Sorry I was late. Bhanumati, Raghav Pandit, Radhe Radhe, and Krishna Premavati. Hare Krishna. So, now, I wanted to ask if, really, every single one of you is sitting here because somehow or other you have been touched in your heart, directly or indirectly, by Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And if you would like to share something, we would really like if you would. Would you like me to bring the mic over to you there? Or would you like... Okay. All right. So Tunga Vidya Didi is going to come and share her Pushpanjali. She wasn't able to be here yesterday afternoon. So we're very fortunate because she was with Gurudev for a very long time. And she saw and heard so much and received so much inspiration from him. It's okay.
Joy.
Joy.
Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyanagina Salakaya Chakshu Militanyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Dinamine. And the Pranam Mantra for Maharaj. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Kesava Prasthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Niti Namine. Dandavat, everyone. I know the ones you mentioned, so Pranam, I hope to see you soon. I cannot remember a lot, but I thought I will mention that some instructions Srila Gurudev gave, even also Srila Vamana Maharaj gave, they were very contradictory. And now how to reconcile that, I give an example for that. Srila Vamana Maharaj, he allowed tomatoes in Chaturmasya, and Srila Gurudev says no. So Radhakanti Didi and Uma Didi, they got in a nice discussion, and they went to Srila Gurudev, and Gurudev's last words were like, if you want bhakti, then you don't take tomatoes. So they're both pure devotees, and how to reconcile that. Now, to my opinion, and Kishore Mahan can verify or even correct me, because I don't know, but I came to the conclusion that since we are initiated by Srila Gurudev, we should follow Gurudev to the best we can. And of course, there's always exceptions here and there, but the main thing is that we should follow the instructions of our own Srila Gurudev and not get confused by these things. Even Srila Gurudev would say contradictory things to different individuals, like he told me not to learn Hindi, and he told sometimes in class everyone should learn Hindi. So then how to think? So I don't learn Hindi. And there's so many examples. Also animals, for example, Srila Gurudev told not to keep pets. And when he was in Badger, there was this huge white bear dog. I don't know what kind of brand that was.
A bear.
Well, he looked like a bear, or she actually. Tilak was her name. Yeah. And Srila Gurudev basically told them that it was good to have that dog there because they have bears and mountain lions and so many other animals. So there he accepted that animal, and actually was a very special animal because he had only Mahaprasadam and the Harikatha, Kirtan, all his life, or her life. And he came one time, and Tilak had died and got a very nice last rites they did for her. And when Srila Gurudev came, he said, hey, there's no dog. And he said, you must have a dog. So, but he tells everyone in general not to have the dog or pets in general. So these are all sometimes for devotees very confusing, but I don't know, maybe you can elaborate on that according to Shastra, because I don't know any Shastra. So there's other things like, for example, another special, no, I shouldn't say that. Srila Gurudev would say, we were in the Philippines, one Prabhu, he had in a cage some birds, and he said immediately you should keep them free. So they did, and I was staying here in Kirtan Ashram, and I was chanting on the roof, and I saw across the street there were young, really young boys, like maybe 5, 6 years old. They were using a little puppy as a football. So I couldn't tolerate that. And I went to them and I took that dog and took it away from them. But I got a little confused, and I asked Srila Gurudev, or I told him the story, and I asked him, what is the idea about this? And he said, oh, you want to become a dog? So then we can remember, which he used a lot as an example, Bharat Maharaj. So then he became a deer, for 3 lifetimes when he saved a deer. Then another time I was in midsummer in the heat in a bus without AC, just a local bus. So I was boiling and boiling and boiling. And I saw a buffalo in a pond, and I thought, oh, that looks good. So so I asked Srila Gurudev, now I become a buffalo next life. And he said, no, it's not like that. So, no, it's about attachment to the animals. If we have a pet, we get so attached. And in Badger, it was is a necessity to have some protection from the wild animals. And there's so many stories, animal stories actually with Srila Gurudev. We went in a house in New Zealand, and they had a big fish tank, an aquarium. And he said, oh, they are very lusty, don't keep them. And in Jalakar's house, there was an owl on the altar. Now in the West, an owl is a symbol of wisdom, education. And they were very confident with that, but Gurudev said, who put that there? Immediately take it out. He was very firm. And another time with another animal, like a lizard from a log, he said also immediately take outside. So he had many, like you said, very practical instructions to the people, but within those instructions there's also like how to reconcile. Like he tells somebody to do this and another one to do that about the same thing. Like he told me not to learn Hindi, and then everyone he says to learn Hindi. And I think part of it is maybe that he wants to make an impression, like you say. He wants to make that impression on people. Like with the tomatoes, I think also, it's such a big impression you can never forget. So you always will remember, even if you take those tomatoes, then still you will remember, oh, but Gurudev said this. So that is Then also he spoke, and that was in Italy. That was very, very like the highlight of him expressing his emotions. That they went on a morning walk, so I was not there, but he himself spoke that in the evening class, that they saw a dog where they were parking. They saw a dog, and the dog go to each car to see if he find his master, because he was obviously just dropped and left there. And then Srila Gurudev, he remembered the pastime of the gopis, and he was literally sobbing, just by remembering the gopis, that when Krishna left, he related the dog to the gopis, that Krishna left and they were just wondering, when is he coming back, when is he coming back? But he was literally sobbing, not just crying or not just a few tears. He was very deeply touched. So that is my offering, remembering Srila Gurudev. Haribol. Dandavat.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I just wanted to mention regarding what Tungavidya Didi had mentioned. Actually, a message came. Sudevi wrote that those dogs were kept outside in Badger. And it was also a farmhouse, so it's different. Like, everyone said, well, Shivananda Sain had a dog. But in India, traditionally, you didn't have a dog. The dogs kind of claimed you and would be around your house. You would throw your food scraps to it, and it would bark and scare away anyone, because they select a master and they keep it. So Nirguna Prabhu's place in Badger, yes, it was necessary. But those who keep them inside the house and give all their love and affection, Gurudev would then give the opposite warning: be careful. You know the history of Bharat Maharaj. He became too attached, and in his next life, he became a deer. So in your next life, be careful. So like what you said, this is so important, attachment. Also the point about reconciliation. This is so essential. A lot of times people are like, well, they don't have to do it. When that subject matter about the tomatoes during Chaturmasya went to our Gurudev, it was 1998. And we had followed Chaturmasya, no tomatoes, very strict, because we would never have given them up unless Gurudev ordered it. And so we gave them up, and we arrived at Keshivji Gaudiya Math, all of the devotees from all over the world. And there were tomatoes in the sabji, in the dal, everywhere. And so we were just taking rice and rotis. That was it. And then the message went to Gurudev that, we don't understand. You instructed us not to take tomatoes, so we've been fasting from them during Chaturmasya, and we come here and it's in everything. What should we do? And Gurudev came out that very same day in a very grave mood. He sat on the Vyas Asana, and from there he said, because some were saying, oh, well, we're not Gurudev's disciples, we're Srila Vamana Maharaj's disciples, and he didn't make this restriction. And we're like, yeah, but we are Gurudev's disciples, and we would like to honor prasadam. So it was a conflict of interest. And so Srila Gurudev came and he sat on the Vyas Asana, and from there he said, if you want to follow me and my mood, then you will not take tomatoes, eggplants, and these other things during Chaturmasya. Very stern like that. Many, many years later, in the last couple of years, so many have said, oh, Gurudev only said that because, they were very expensive, this or that. And I'm like, Gurudev had us following no tomatoes during Chaturmasya in the West when they were in full bloom and they didn't have insects in them. And the Italians, poor Italians, they're like, tomatoes are our life. But Gurudev still had us following this. So when he said that, if you want to follow me and my mood, and this is the essence of what it means to be a disciple. Every guru might have a different restriction. Why? Gurudev gave some reasons. They don't seem to be very, very strong, especially in the West. We don't have those germs, we don't see them or whatever it was. But the way we have seen it, and like you said, when you see a pile of tomatoes that looks so beautiful, I want to enjoy that. And then immediately you remember Gurudev, and you see him in every single tomato. No, not during Chaturmas. You should do some austerity. Then you remember Gurudev at that time. And so, for us, there's no necessity for a reconciliation. Many devotees say, oh, I'm following Prabhupada Kadashi. Oh, I'm following, and they choose whimsically. I choose to follow. No, we should not have that right to do that. When it comes to the order of our Guru, we follow as our Guru has told. We were also given a choice. Gurudev said no carrots. And strongly. And we used to love a tall glass of carrot juice with apple and ginger mixed in. When Gurudev said no carrots, we stopped just like that. And everyone was like, but they eat carrots there. But my Gurudev said no carrots. So then what do? I follow my Gurudev. It doesn't mean that other people are wrong. They do what they do, but I'm going to follow my Gurudev. If I want to receive his acknowledgement, and that's really important for a disciple. If we want to receive the acknowledgement of Guru, then we must do those activities that he has told us to do and to avoid those things that he has told us to avoid. And when he sees, oh, you are making that endeavor, you're trying to follow me, then he will give mercy. Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj, he said, why do we do sadhan if by our own strength we cannot attain perfection? He said, because Guru tells you to do it. And when he sees that you are sincere and you are willing to follow, then he will give his mercy. Installments of mercy. That is bhakti sukriti. But it is really by the mercy of Guru that we make progress toward perfection. What was the last point you made? Oh, regarding, I remember we were in Murwilamba, and Srila Gurudev said, don't keep fish in the house. He said their eyes are always open. It means that they are envious. They're always looking like this. He said, don't keep them in your house. He didn't like reptiles being kept in the house. He did not like fish being kept in the house. And of course, if you have Thakurji in the house, then how can you properly worship Thakurji if you have animals? According to the rules and regulations of serving Thakurji, you cannot do that. It makes you impure. And sometimes people claim that they train their animals not to smell what they're cooking. Good one. Anyhow, so Srila Gurudev has given instructions. There's one other consideration, and this is something to really look at, because I remember there was one devotee who was a senior devotee from another institution with a Diksha Guru from that institution, and then he came to Gurudev and accepted him as Shiksha Guru. If one accepts Shiksha Guru in their life as their life and soul, not different from their Diksha Guru, the proper way to view the Shiksha Guru is as the continued manifestation of my Diksha Guru. If my Diksha Guru were to remain in this world, he would give me further instructions. And gradually he would increase my bhakti activities and limit my material activities. So as, for example, our Srila Prabhupada said, there are so many rules. If I were to tell you right now, you would faint. But gradually we can introduce them, gradually. But for now, let's keep it simple, and later on we can introduce all of these things. Those who are bona fide representatives of Srila Rupa Goswami in the Guru Varga, they can gradually introduce these things for the devotees who are sincere to progress and go forward on the path of bhakti. So it may be that at one point I was doing something, but that thing might not any longer be valuable for me or necessary for me. And now I need to make an adjustment to something which is more in alignment with my own current adhikar. I remember when Shyamarani Didi, she told that when she met Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati Maharaj, before she was in the role of more preaching, but she said, now I'm becoming attached to Harinam, and I want to focus more deeply in my Harinam Seva. And he said, I am so delighted to hear this. So delighted to hear this. So, as one is progressing on the path of bhakti, there will be different prescriptions for them. And we cannot expect that everyone should be exactly at the same level. Because those who are just entering should not be considered at the same level as those who've been practicing for 50 years. That would be a ludicrous assumption. It doesn't make sense. So, Srila Gurudev has given general instructions for everyone, and then he has also given personal instructions. So generally, yes, you should all learn Hindi. You don't worry about it. I've seen him. He told me, you can learn it. And he told Sudevi, don't try. Don't bother. So these are personal instructions. The general instructions is one thing, personal instructions are another. And those personal instructions usually also relate to our own personal frailties. Maybe we don't have a very strong capacity at this time or in this life. So don't bother. It will be an what is it? Atyahara prayashascha prajalpo niyamaga. Over endeavor. It would be an over endeavor to the point where it would be a distraction from my endeavor for bhakti. So if Gurudev would see that, then automatically he would give bhakti the preference. It would make sense. So thank you so much for sharing what you have shared. It's beautiful. And I remember also reading that about the dog in Italy and how Gurudev was weeping. Imagine that. We see a dog running from car to car, and who knows what we think. Oh, he's looking for food. Get out of here. Gurudev sees that dog and he thinks, his master. He devoted his life to that master. And that master was so cruel that he abandoned him. But the dog was only thinking and dreaming of his master day and night and searching. My master couldn't have possibly abandoned me. He must certainly return to collect me. So every day he's going from car to car, person to person. Are you my master? Are you my master? When is my master going to return? And then he remembered the mood of the gopis and how Krishna left, and what kind of mood came into Gurudev's heart, and how he was weeping at that time. No, sobbing at that time. This is an example of how one can see Guru in everything. You know, the 24 Gurus, this is an example, 24 examples of the infinity of Gurus that one would see, Samasti Guru, if they are dedicated and absorbed. Now, Gurudev is seeing the gopis in separation from Krishna through the medium of this dog. Next, I would like to call Ranga Devi. Would you like to speak a couple of things? You don't have to come, no force. Rukmini, no force. Disha, I know you have a lot to say. Om. Only a couple I was a little strong with. I think it was only Janaba. Because Gurudev was having her stand up and speak and tell shlokas and everything from the time she was 3, you know. So I just felt that it would be displeasing to Gurudev, and I didn't want her to do that. So I just pushed her a little bit. Srila Gurudev didn't like force. Sometimes devotees would bring their teenage children to see Gurudev. And Gurudev would ask, did you force them to come? And they said, no, Gurudev, they wanted to come. He said, good. I don't want anyone to feel forced. Because actually, bhakti is not something that can be forced. Bhakti is a spontaneous mood of affection. And that affection manifests as desire to serve the object of my affection. That is seva. And if it is forced, it is very, very difficult to actually take it up by heart. Sometimes Gurudev would give a little extra pressure. Sometimes. For those who said, I am your disciple and I will follow your order, then he would give that kind of thing. Because when one comes to the feet of Gurudev and falls at Gurudev's feet and says, I give you the right to chastise me, to correct me, to help me, because I myself am so weak, I'm unwilling to move. Then Gurudev has that right. But still, he understands where we're at. And he will give different levels of chastisement or correction according to our capacity. In 1998, he told, in Keshivji Gauri Mat Mathura, I have to be so careful with all of you, especially those from the West. He said, if I say something that even slightly pinches you, you will think, oh, I don't like Narayan Maharaj. And he said, you will leave me and bhakti forever. So I have to be so careful with you. He said, but I know that with my brahmacharis, and he pointed to a few, Madhav Maharaj, Ban Maharaj, and others. That time they were Naveen Krishna Brahmachari, Sabasaka Brahmachari, Shubhananda Brahmachari. He said, I know with my brahmacharis, even if I beat them bitterly, I know they will never leave me. Even if I beat them bitterly. And I just thought at that moment, oh, I'm not qualified to receive the beating of Gurudev yet. Because if he says something that will pinch my heart, I'd be like, oh, I don't like him. And I'll go the other way. I'll keep distance. Why is he being like that to me? I don't deserve this. But those who are serving and living with him and following his instructions day in and day out, year after year after year, understanding that whatever mercy he gives is for their benefit, and how he chooses to give that mercy is also for their benefit. They can receive that beating. And just like a faithful dog, even if their master beats them, they have no other shelter than the lotus feet of their master. I'm thinking of Gurudev at this moment, the lotus feet of Gurudev. They have no shelter but the feet of their master, so they will fall at the feet of their master and only beg for mercy. So Srila Gurudev gave this powerful example that, yes, if we want to become more attached to the lotus feet of Gurudev, then gradually, we will accept willingly and knowingly the loving chastisement. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, there's a book of his called Affection and Reproach, or it's of his Gurudev. And it's about the affectionate side and the reproaching side of Gurudev. Both are necessary. These days, with modern psychology, most people think, oh, why are you so heavy? You should be really nice and sweet. Have you ever seen what happens? They have a new system of raising children. It's called, what? Gentle parenting. Please stop throwing a tantrum. It doesn't feel good. It hurts my heart. And the kid just keeps throwing a tantrum. And in the end, they don't end up being any better than any other child. They always blame their parents for everything anyway, so it doesn't matter. But even from the beginning of history, we see that there is reproach. Nanda Baba has been challenged by all of his brothers and all of the elders. Krishna is such a naughty boy, if you don't. He said, Krishna is such a naughty boy. If I don't chastise him, then he'll become a dacoit, no one will love him, and he'll be a problem in society. Yes, but he's Bhagavan. Can't you see he's lifted Govardhan, he's killing so many demons? Nanda Baba's like, no, you don't see the Krishna that I see. So he knows that I need to chastise my son. I need to correct him. Yashoda also picked up a stick and chased after Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that the shock that he received by his Gurudev made him realize that unless others are similarly shocked, they will not wake up. So this is essential for us, to be not only babied, but to be shocked. And Gurudev gave both sides. So much kindness, so much love, so much affection, care. You just felt like, in his presence. But he also gave that strong side, the heavy side. And both of those are necessary. One to bind us, and the other one to help us to progress and move forward. If we only approach Gurudev that I want you to please me, then this is using Gurudev in our service. But we should have a mood, how can I learn how to please Gurudev? Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, and I will end here. He said that the reason that so many became weak and fell away from the service of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada after his departure was because they failed to constantly ponder this question while they were serving their Gurudev. Is my service pleasing to him? And does this service give me life? These two questions. Is it pleasing to him? So many do what they want and they offer it, but is it pleasing to him? And does this service which I'm doing for my Gurudev, is this what gives me life? So for us, we should always ponder this as well, so that we don't also end up in the spectrum of those who are very far from Gurudev and devoid of seva. Is my service pleasing to him, and does it give me life? Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Okay.